عم ايش مالك؟
أنا بتقول يعني مش قادرة أعمل شيء
من ايش تبتي؟
عشان من أعرف من ندم وتمضي كل يوم من ندم.
This is not just land. This is a scar carved into the earth, a wound that never heals. This is Gaza, a slender strip of land, barely 25 miles long, smaller than Manhattan, yet it carries the weight of generations, the silence of the world, and the endless ache of injustice. More than 2 million people are trapped here. Half of them are children born into a cage they did not build. There are no airports, no seaports, no freedom of movement, just walls, watchtowers, and waiting. From above, Gaza touches the sea. But the sea does not set you free here. It stares back, like a promise the world keeps breaking. Every sunrise brings a question. Will we survive today? Every sunset is swallowed by the sound of drones, the thunder of jets, the breathless wait for the next explosion. They call Gaza the world's largest open-air prison. But what does that really mean? It means 4 hours of electricity on a good day. It means children learn the language of war before they learn to spell their names. It means parents whisper lullabies beneath ceilings that might collapse. It means a boy knows what an F-16 sounds like before he ever hears applause. It means dreams are rationed like clean water. And then there's this key, held tightly in the trembling hand of an old man. Its metal is worn, but not from use. It unlocks nothing, nothing but a memory, a house, a village, a homeland that exists now only in photographs and in the tears of those who remember. Gaza is just 365 square kilometers, a speck on the map, smaller than Las Vegas. But unlike Vegas, there are no neon lights, only the flicker of candles in the dark. When the power cuts out again, it is a land surrounded by fences, walls, war, not just concrete and wire, but invisible barriers of fear, of control, of indifference. More than 2 million people live here, stacked in apartments, crowded in camps, bound by border crossings that only rarely open. And when they do, they open with conditions. 80% survive on aid, food parcels, cash cards, international mercy. 50% are children, too young to know what freedom feels like, but old enough to recognize the sound of a missile. 97% of the water here, undrinkable. Salt and sewage seep from the taps, while children cup their hands anyway. Hospitals run on fumes, fuel smuggled in plastic soda bottles. Doctors operate in darkness, deciding who gets care and who gets painkillers and prayer. Unemployment is among the highest on earth. Fathers pace rooftops. Mothers sell heirlooms for bread. And yet, these are just numbers. Cold, hard, hollow. They don't echo with the tremble in a mother's voice when her child asks, "Why can't I go outside?" They don't reflect the silence of a father who has nothing left to give but his presence. They don't show you the heartbreak, the resilience, the sheer will to live in a place the world would rather forget. This is survival, not life as you know it, not freedom, not choice. Life in Gaza is a daily act of improvisation, of stitching together what little remains into something that resembles dignity. It is resilience, defiance, in the face of a world that has looked away for too long. Children study beneath the dim flicker of candlelight, their small hands clutching pencils, their notebooks trembling under ceilings cracked by war. Fishermen push out to sea, not chasing fortune, but trying to survive another day. They cast nets into waters choked with sewage. 6 nautical miles. That's the limit. Any farther, and bullets greet them instead of fish. In most homes, there are no toys, no birthday candles, no playgrounds, just the broken remnants of war, turned into games. Sticks become rifles, stones become barricades, and in the dusty alleys, children play drone and resistance. Their laughter echoes, but so do the real gunshots beyond the walls. Gaza's schools run double shifts, morning, afternoon, sometimes more. There are too many children, too few classrooms. In some places, the schoolyard is a graveyard. The classrooms, patched with shrapnel, softened by hope. Here, there is no such thing as normal. There is only today, only survival, only the breath you can hold until nightfall. And yet, Gaza breathes. It breathes through the cracks, through songs whispered under siege, through mothers who teach courage before ABCs, through fathers who plant flowers beside ruins. It breathes, not because it is free, but because it refuses to die. Gaza doesn't count wars by decades. There's no peace long enough to measure time that way. Here, war is counted in names. 2008, 2012, 2014, 2021, 2023. Each name is a memory. Each memory, a grave. Every few years, the sky breaks open again, and fire rains down where lullabies once lived. White phosphorus splits the night. It doesn't just light up the sky. It devours it. Flames that cling to skin. Ashes that fall like snow. Entire families are buried in their beds, still wrapped in dreams they never got to finish. And those who survive, they are not spared, only scarred. Hospitals fill beyond breaking. Surgeries performed by flashlight. Generators failing. Doctors with trembling hands. Forced to decide who gets the only ventilator. One child, one breath, one impossible choice. And before the bombs fall, there is a knock. Not from a neighbor, not from mercy, but from a missile the size of a Coke bottle. They call it a warning. You have 90 seconds. 90 seconds to grab your family, to choose who to carry, to guess which building might still stand. But where do you run? When every street is a target, when every wall may collapse, when even shelters are marked for rubble. In Gaza, war is not an event. It is a season, like winter, but colder. Colder than metal, colder than silence after an explosion, colder than the world watching and doing nothing. They marched in peace once. The Great March of Return, not with weapons, but with memory, with hope stitched into flags, and the names of stolen villages carried in their hearts. Tens of thousands walked toward the fence, toward the illusion of recognition, toward the right to return home. But the response? Snipers, not to kill, but to maim, to disable, to disfigure. Over 9,000 wounded, knees shattered, eyes blinded, necks torn apart. The message was clear. You may march, but you will never walk again. And when homes fall, when bombs turn bedrooms into craters, you do not rebuild. Because bricks are banned, because cement is a threat, because a bag of concrete is feared more than the cries of a child under rubble. You live among the ruins. You build with scrap and memory. A kitchen wall becomes a bed frame. A broken door becomes shelter. They say it's for security. But what security fears a toy made of sand? What security starves an entire people? Just in case someone might dig a tunnel? Stress curls in the belly of mothers. Malnutrition steals babies before breath. Miscarriages rise. Tiny heartbeats vanish. And there are no grief counselors. Just quiet, heavy air. And another unmarked grave. Women cry in silence, because sorrow here has become routine. Above ground, children eating bread made from animal feed. Below ground, men in bunkers with Wi-Fi and fans. This is not fiction. It is the hierarchy of power, even in ruin. Yet students keep learning. In basements, with no heat, with torn books, studying medicine and engineering by candlelight, preparing for a future the world tells them they may never reach. And yet, there is beauty in Gaza, not of luxury, but of spirit, of survival, of poetry scribbled on shattered walls. Artists paint color into gray. Weddings happen in bombed-out hotels. Mothers dance barefoot between ruins, their laughter a quiet rebellion. Solar panels rise where roofs once collapsed. Libraries bloom underground. Teenage girls learn to code, hidden, dreaming of Silicon Valley. Hope is smuggled here like contraband. But it grows, and it glows. This isn't about sides. This isn't about who fired first. This is about a child who draws birds, without cages. A boy who wants a bicycle, not a bunker. A girl who wants to become a surgeon, even if the hospital she dreams of lies in pieces. Gaza doesn't ask for pity. It asks to be seen. Because behind every number is a name. Behind every photo, there was once a heartbeat. So I ask you, will you forget what you've heard here today? Or will you carry it with you, like a key in your pocket? A key that opens no door, but unlocks the truth. Gaza is still here, still breathing, still human,